So the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black, it promised a show, right? Well, day one didn't just deliver, it was pure, unadulterated chaos. We're going to break down this incredible day of European dominance, a shocking American collapse, and an atmosphere that was, well, you just had to be there. But we're going to try to take you there. Let's dive in. Okay, let's just get right to it. This one number, it tells you everything you need to know about Friday's action. 5.5 to 2.5. I mean, look at that. It's a blowout. This lopsided score set the stage for a day of just absolute European control and honestly American desperation. So what does that actually mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, for Team Europe, it's a commanding 3-point lead. That is a huge cushion heading into Saturday. But for Team USA, on their own turf, they are in a deep, deep hole. The pressure is officially 100% on. All right, so how on earth did we get to a score like that on day one? Let's peel back the layers and see exactly how Europe put together this incredible lead, right from the very first tee shots in the morning. And you can see it right here. The morning foursomes, that's where the story was written. I mean, look at that score, 3.5 to a measly half point for the US. Europe just came out swinging, a total blue wave that left the Americans completely stunned. Now, yeah, they clawed back a couple of points in the afternoon four balls, but you know what? The damage was already done. That morning session was a knockout blow. And a lead like that, it doesn't just happen by accident. No way. This was built on the backs of Europe's biggest names, their superstars, who showed up ready to play and just absolutely thrived under that insane New York pressure. You know, it was a real team effort from top to bottom. You had the McIlroy and Fleetwood partnership, which was just pure gold. They won both of their matches. Then there's Jon Rahm, who was an absolute rock, grabbing points in both the morning and the afternoon. And hey, even the pairing of Åberg and Fitzpatrick came up huge, contributing a win and a super important halve, just firing on all cylinders. Speaking of brilliant, let's talk about Tommy Fleetwood for a second. Take a look at this number, 5-0-0. That is his career Ryder Cup foursomes. He has never lost. 5 matches, 5 wins. The guy is an absolute machine in this format, a true specialist. And for Team USA, he is a total nightmare. Okay, so for every story of European dominance, there has to be an opposite story, right? A story of American struggle. And the biggest shock of the entire day, without a doubt, came from the man at the very top of their roster. I'm talking about Scottie Scheffler, the world #1, the guy who was supposed to be the anchor, the undisputed best player on the planet coming into this whole thing. And on Friday, he went 0 for 2, lost both his matches. It was a stunning, totally unexpected collapse that sent, absolute shockwaves through the American team and all those fans at Bethpage. And you can see just how bad it got. He gets thumped 5-3 in the morning foursomes, then comes back in the afternoon and loses again, 3-2. What's crazy is this now means he's winless in his last 6 Ryder Cup matches. And here's a stat for you. He joins Tiger Woods and Ian Wisdom as the only world #1s to lose 2 matches on the opening day. That is not the kind of history you want to be making. But you know, the drama wasn't just happening inside the ropes. The entire scene at Bethpage was a whole character in this play. It was chaotic, it was loud, and yeah, it was pretty politically charged. Let's paint a picture of just how wild this atmosphere really was. Okay, just try to imagine this. You've got over 40,000 passionate, screaming fans. The noise level is hitting 100 decibels. That's like a jet taking off. The air is just electric with nonstop USA, USA chants. And it wasn't just that. Off the course, it was kind of chaotic. Shuttle buses were failing. People had to walk miles. And when you looked into the crowd, you saw a sea of those red Make Golf Great Again hats, which really added this whole other political layer to the day. So you might be wondering, how did the Europeans deal with this, incredibly hostile crowd? Well, let's look at Rory McIlroy. He was getting heckled all day long. But instead of letting it get to him, he just absorbed it. He embraced it. He started answering all the noise with clutch birdies and these huge, defiant fist pumps. He later called it New York toughness. He literally turned all that negative energy into fuel for his own fire. Incredible. And then, to add yet another layer to this whole spectacle, You had former President Donald Trump on site. He was watching the matches from a bulletproof glass box, greeting some of the players. And as you can imagine, his visit meant a huge security operation, with TSA-style checks and everything, which apparently slowed things down quite a bit for fans trying to get in.
And of course, it wouldn't be a huge New York event without some A-listers in the crowd, right? We had sightings of basketball legend Michael Jordan, Giants hero Eli Manning, even comedian Colin Jost was there. It all just added to this big-time, almost heavyweight fight kind of atmosphere. So after all that, the chaos, the drama, the shocking results, we're left with this lopsided score, and it sets the stage for a Saturday that is just massively important. It's a classic crossroads moment, isn't it? Are we about to see an epic American comeback story? Or is Europe just going to confirm what we saw on Friday and run away with this thing?
So what's next? What's the plan? Well, the U.S. captain, Keegan Bradley, he knows he can't just sit back and do nothing. He's got to shake things up, and that is exactly what he's doing for the Saturday morning matches. You can see the reaction right here in the Saturday morning lineups. Captain Bradley's broken up some of his Friday pairings, but, and this is interesting, he's sticking with Scottie Scheffler, probably hoping his #1 guy can find some magic. On the other side, Europe is shuffling the deck a bit too, sending Rory out with Fitzpatrick, but make no mistake, every single one of these matches is now basically do or die for Team USA. They have no room for error.
And that's really what it all boils down to, isn't it? That's the big question heading into the weekend. Can Team USA somehow feed off this wild home crowd and pull off a comeback for the ages? Or is Europe's cool, calculated performance just going to continue, marching them straight to another Ryder Cup? We're going to find out.